Welcome to DC.
And here it comes. Swing and a miss. And a World Series Game 7 winning Curly W is in the books.
Dagger! It's 1974. The Washington Capitals are the 2018 Stanley Cup champions.
Don't like that. I like that.
You gotta like that, right?
Despite all this, despite the churn, my approval ratings keep going up.
We are ready to give our 500% support back to this franchise, back to this city, back to this team after Snyder leaves. And then this is the poo-poo you put on the field.
For the very first time, the Washington Mystics are WNBA champions.
The Washington Commanders select Jaden Daniels.
I'm going to support fake teams that can't ruin my life.
Did you call bank? I call game.
Thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business.
Oh boy, breathe in, breathe out. Episode 359 and the 15th loss in a row for the Commanders. The European experiment in Spain is over, boys. I don't think they will ever be going back to Spain. Of all of the places they can host games around the world, they're desperately trying to make the game international. We're going to go to Brazil and we're going to go to Germany. We're going to go whatever. Spain likely never gets repeated. The most beautiful stadium, the most beautiful pitch. I mean, literally the fluffiest grass I've ever seen in my life in gorgeous 4K on TV. But the Spaniards don't care. That's the simple thing. Like you cannot compare Real Madrid, Barcelona, the La Liga with anything the NFL can do in that country. And of course, the Skins went and completely crapped the bed. And what is that? 6 losses in a row. The bye week is here. I don't want to be super negative, but there isn't much to be positive about here. FP, I'm sure you're going to tell me that the defense played better. Andy, I'm sure you're going to tell me that Debo Slows had a nice game, his best as a Commander. He's not going to be back in burgundy and gold or ketchup and mustard or whatever next year. Where do you boys want to start? That was an embarrassing loss that they could have. That game was very winnable, even with all the mismatched and hodgepodge pieces and the makeshift roster. We can't kick field goals. And Mariota's going to throw an interception like clockwork.
Let me jump in with a question. When are we going to stop talking about this season and start talking about next season?
OMC's around the corner, baby. I'm ready when you are.
Let's start talking about next season.
Yeah, give me some bad movies to go watch, Andy. I'm ready. I can't
Honestly,
do any more Skins.
It's Misery Monday. We record on Tuesdays. We do the same thing. We talk about how this. I can't anymore. We've lost, like you said, 15
it's literally the same conversation again.
We cannot. Yeah, I'm ready to talk about how if Jaden Daniels should come back, if he's healthy, should he come back and play? I'm ready to talk about our draft picks.
Well, what do you do?
To talk about what our strategy is next year.
Well, I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire here. You're Dan Quinn and Adam Peters, and what do you do if coming out of the bye, or maybe after they lose to the Broncos, you got a healthy Jaden and maybe a partially healthy Terry. Are you putting your A team on the field, Andy, or not?
I'm torn because I do think Jaden needs to get in some reps. Like he needs to play.
Yeah.
But I'm also
What's he playing for?
He can't. Well, that and he can't protect himself. Like if he wants to go out there and show me the next, the last 2 games, like, hey, coach, I'm a passer, and guess what? I know how to slide, and I can get out of bounds, and I don't need to take dumb hits. Like I would be so happy.
This is interesting. So you're of the mindset that he needs to prove he's the guy.
I'm of the mindset that I'm like, and then that's the other side of my thing is I don't want to play him because he hasn't proved that he can protect himself, and he's bubble wrapped pretty much, and I want to save him for next year. Like I'm torn, I want him to go out there.
Yeah, FP, where do you fall on this? Are you playing him or not?
I have three things to say.
Oh, you
first,
go. Shoot.
First, defeating the curse is alive and well.
Yeah, very good. The brand is established. Yes.
The Wizards and the Commanders have played 19 games since October 13th. We are 1-19.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's
point number 2 if Dan Quinn listened to this effing podcast, he would have fired Joe Witt, cut Matt Gay, made all the changes we said back in end of September, right? You could have saved all of October. You probably could have saved Jaden if you were in some closer games because the defense didn't make him have to go Wonder Boy. Probably could have saved Jaden, probably could have saved your season. Didn't listen to anyone. Big knock on Dan Quinn. Point number 3, to Andy's point, you got to play Jaden Daniels. You got to take the bubble wrap off him. If you bubble wrap your guy and you play scared, then you do not have a franchise quarterback. That's plain and simple. He needs to come out. He needs to play. He needs to do what he needs to do. He needs to get his licks, learn how to take hits, learn to not take hits. He has to do all the stuff a second-year rookie needs to do, learn, and then come into season 3 smarter and better. If you don't play him the rest of this season, if he's ready to go, he's going to start season 3 the way he started season 2.
The only argument to not play Jaden and Terry, if available, is fear of additional injury. That's the only argument. You've got to get something on tape.
If it's going to happen, let it happen on the broken season.
Like, I mean, do you disagree? Like, you
football,
have
football
to.
Is football.
Football, okay, football is football, but I mean, I hate to make this about. Okay, I'm just going to say.
Don't bring up the other black quarterback that we have all experienced.
I'm going to bring him up here for a second.
It's not relatable. He is Joe Burrow. I've made this argument
before.
I
wasn't going to bring up that one. I wasn't going to bring up RG3, and I'm 100% correct, by the way, on this. We don't have to talk about it right now, FP, but we're on a trajectory here. I hear you that he's more, injury prone or susceptible to injury. He's more Burrow, less RG3. In the end, he's not available. It doesn't matter why he's not available. He's not available.
I agree.
Right.
I agree. But you listen, growing pains. That's all I'm going to say.
Growing pains. The roster's 150 years old.
Lamar's not available for a lot of random games, especially earlier in his career when he had a smaller frame.
I'm glad you brought up Lamar, because that team went from 1-5 to 5-5 real fast, and they look like the best team in the AFC right now. That's what. Okay, can Jaden do that right now? Honestly, can he do that?
What's the difference? What's the difference between the Ravens and the Commanders right now?
Well, I mean, they have a leaky defense. They have an aging running back. They have no receivers. So you tell me what the difference is.
No, they have way better receivers than the Commanders.
They have Zay Flowers.
And they have 2 amazing tight ends that can always make plays.
We have Zach Ertz. He was tripping over the beautiful grass.
Listen, I'm with Andy. I don't want to keep revisiting the same conversation. Jaden sucked this season.
Yes.
But a lot of it, and I'm going to hold a lot of it to the injuries and the terribleness of the season.
I'm going to ask the question. I'm not going
to turn on Jaden and
are you concerned that Jaden is not the guy?
No, not at all.
Andy, are you convinced he is the guy?
Last season?
No, I didn't forget. But there's tape on him now, FP. There's tape on him now.
Great. I don't care if there's tape on him. The point isn't that he can't make the plays. We saw it on the Chargers game. He comes out, he can still make the plays. I don't care if there's tape on him. The point is, when the team was healthy, when the weapons were there, and then he made the quick decisions. He made the quick passes. He was under control of that offense, and there was no questions. We were all celebrating last season about how quick he was, about the VR set and how fast he processes, and he makes great passes. And then we were also quick about how he escapes the pocket and all those 4th down conversions where he just glides out of the way, doesn't take the hit, slides out of bounds. That is a healthy roster with a healthy Jaden Daniels. So this season, you can't get mad at Jaden Daniels for not being like that when everything around him is injured. This franchise needs to dial it back and stop having PTSD. We've said it week after week after week after week. You just got to let things happen naturally. You got to put your trust in the team. You can lose a little bit, you could thin the ice under him. Dan Quinn has thin ice under him, right? Adam Peters has thin ice under him. Jaden Daniels has thin ice under him. You can put all the blame on Terry for messing up the offseason and coming in and being injured and ruin the dynamics. You can say all of that, but you cannot come out and say Jaden's not the guy and he's injury prone and he doesn't know how to slide and he sucks and he's RG3 and he's stupid and we wasted the draft pick. When less than a year ago, we were praising him as the next great quarterback in the league, and the league itself.
But that's the similarity. But that's the similarity to RG3, right? It's the flash in the pan. It's that one magical season, and then the strength of schedule gets a little bit worse. No, I can see it. FP, I can see it, but situationally, it's very similar. I'm not saying they are similar. I'm saying the situation is
not similar.
I disagree
at all.
I disagree. I think Adam Peters and DQ went into this offseason and said, We need a couple things, right? They completely, like, in hindsight now, obviously you can see things much clearer. The roster is too old. It's constructed very poorly.
I agreed.
Right? So you're playing a harder schedule with a worse roster.
You got to give Jaden the pass. You have to.
Yeah, and I'm not. It's not. I mean, he's not out there, so that's obviously a big problem. But take it back to just Sunday, just a couple days ago. I mean, they were in a position to win this game. This was a winnable game against the Dolphins.
And if you have Jaden Daniels out there, you tell me you don't win that game? Of course you do.
I mean, I would like to believe you do.
It would be just like the Ravens. Everyone goes, oh my God, this team is booty. This is terrible. Lamar comes back. All of a sudden, everything works, right? But the difference is the pieces were there to work. They were just waiting on Lamar.
And I hear you. I hear you on that. But the play calling on Sunday was bad. Right, I don't know why they went with more, Rodriguez and less of Bill. I don't care. It was working a little bit. The play call. I mean, Matt Gay can't kick. Why is he on this roster? Why? But my point is, like, why was he ever on the roster?
That's a great question. We could bitch about Adam Peters and Dan Quinn and all.
We have to.
Decisions.
We have to. The roster is poorly constructed. I'm totally on board to complain about all of that, but I don't want to start this conversation with, is Jaden the guy? Leave Jaden on the side. That's fine. I hear you. Let's park Jaden on the side for a second. We can debate him at a later time. This was a winnable game. The Dolphins started with the ball, got 3 first downs, 3 plays for 11 yards on each of the first 3 plays. They were moving the ball with ease. Let's talk about the defense for a second here. DQ made a big thing about, well, Joe Witt's still my guy and we're lifelong friends and he's going to still help me, but he's going back up to the booth.
It's dumb.
Whatever. In your opinion, did the defense play better?
Absolutely. 100% played better.
I mean,
it wasn't vanilla. You had blitzes, you had sacks, you had pressures, you had goal line stands. And DQ, for whatever reason, when he took over as DC, he made personnel changes. He played Quan Martin. He went from getting 100% of the snaps every week up until the Miami game to like 20% of the snaps, right? So DQ clearly saw something.
I think that's his thing, honestly. I think he might end up being a terrible head coach and a very, very good defensive coordinator.
No, I think he can be a really good head coach that has to also be a defensive coordinator.
Based on what? Based on winning 8 games last year? At the last second?
There's 2 parts to coaching, right? There's the morale rah-rah guy, which we all thought Ron was going to be, and he wasn't, right? Okay. Maybe you can blame that on chemotherapy or COVID or whatever. He wasn't the rah-rah guy. Dan Quinn, again, we repeated it all last season. Players come in, they love Dan Quinn, they play hard for Dan Quinn, they step up for Dan Quinn. You just have to look at this roster, and a lot of this blame has to go on Peters, and a lot of this blame just has to go to Lady Luck. You look at this roster, the players are still playing hard, right? They're just not good. The players that are on the field are just not as good as the other players, but they're still playing hard. They're still coming out, and they don't look defeated. We've seen the Shanahan era and the Gruden era.
We've seen quitters.
Era, where the players come out and they look like they have absolutely quit and don't give a shit. That's not what we're seeing under Dan Quinn because he's a good head coach. But he needs to be like Mike McDonald in Baltimore or Harbaugh. He needs to be one of these coaches, even Vrabel, that needs to just go from overhead to more involved. And you saw it. You saw it against Miami. Miami put up 40 against the Bills, and we held them to 6 for majority of the game. Like it's a much better defense under Dan Quinn. He has that skill, but the problem is he bungled up keeping Joe Witten.
Well, he can keep him, but the change came too late. I mean, your season.
You got to get rid of him.
Andy, do you agree that the defense played better?
I do think the defense played better, but I also can't ignore the fact that we have lost so many key defensive. Like we're talking about AP, right? Peters, he hit on some and he missed on some. Lattimore, he missed. Everybody can agree on that. I think Cleveland Farrell, Armstrong, Dietrich Wise, all these defensive ends that were supposed to be playing,
it would have been hits
all season. We would have had a much better defensive outcome. Sure. So we can't ignore the fact that a lot of the key players for this defense, difference makers for this defense, have not been in all season.
Well, I mean, the secondary is decimated too. You could say what you want about Marshawn. I would rather him be on the field given the state of the secondary right now. Yeah. And
Trey
you can't do
Amos out. Right? Like there's a lot of people.
Sanders still regressed a little bit, but that's because he has to be like the do-it-everything guy.
But what are they doing putting him back there to field kicks and punts? What are we doing? What are we doing?
That's where the questions come in. You can question Peters on why do we not have better players to go back there and return. But then again, injuries, right? Jalen Lane isn't trusted anymore. Luke McCaffrey was doing great. He got injured. So you have to scramble and find somebody. And when you're in practice from week to week, it's like, all right, who can go back there and field kicks? All right, Sanders still did great in practice. You put him into a game, it's a completely different dynamic.
Sure.
He's going to make a mistake, but
Look,
he's learning
let me
on
ask
the
one
job.
question.
That's the problem. This entire team, offense and defense, is learning on the job. Every single one of them.
Let me ask you guys a question. Next season, right? Because I'm already ready to talk about next season.
He's
Next
gone.
season, we come back with our full complement of players. You know, we have a lot of money in free agency money. We have very little draft picks, but that's okay. We're kind of climbing the ladder. We might make more. Next year, let's just say everybody was healthy this year. We bring back Cleveland Farrell, Armstrong, Dietrich White, all these people. Amos steps up. He's better. Lattimore, you know, whatever. Who cares? Sanderson. What are expectations next year? Like, is next year
against a softer schedule, the expectations would be better than they are right now?
I mean, I'd put them back at they should hit 10 wins.
Right.
Wild card team, right? Like, I think we're a wild card team with the roster we have now. It's just it didn't work out this year. Everybody got hurt.
I mean, I want to believe that, to be honest. I really do want to believe it, but there's so many stinkers. I mean, this team set a record for consecutive losses back to back of 21 plus points.
That's Joe Witt's fault.
That's Joe Witt. I think they stopped.
You guys are you keep killing Joe Witt. I'm killing the head coach.
No, you can kill the head coach for one reason. It's because he kept Joe Witt in.
You're standing. He's standing on the sideline, and I know you guys don't want to hear me say it anymore, but he's morphing in front of us into Ron Rivera. He was not like that on Sunday. You're losing by 21 points. You're doing nothing. You're doing nothing.
He was not like that on Sunday.
He wasn't on Sunday, but the 3 games before it where they were losing by 21 FP, that's what.
And listen,
he was regressing into a statue.
There's a fine line, and this is what DQ said coming into being hired under our coach, and after the Atlanta debacle, and then going into Dallas. There's a fine line between doing it your way and just kind of putting your trust out on your guys and then meddling too much. He needs to be able to find a coaching staff. And this is the biggest thing we have to do off season is revisit the entire coaching staff, right? That's what AP and DQ need to do more so than focus on the draft picks and free agency. Of course, that's important, but you need to find a coaching staff that is comprehensive, that is knowledgeable, that is good at working with their position groups. DQ is just one guy. Right?
I mean, is anyone right now safe in your mind? Is Cliff a lock to stay as offensive coordinator?
Cliff is probably safe. And
I wouldn't mind if Cliff left.
I mean, it depends on what
very vanilla offense. Very
vanilla because
offense.
He had to close the playbook, Joe.
I disagree. FPE.
No, Joe, you're playing with scrubs. You can't do layered routes and timing routes and all of this stuff.
Andy Reid is throwing.
Who's the guy who's Jacoby Jones? Who are these people on our team? You don't have time to practice and get timing and learn tree routes and learn coverages and do all these things in an offense that we clearly know that Cliff knows how to run an offense. Cliff knows how to make an offense score points, but he has nobody. They're scrubs. They're bumps. Take your fantasy team, right? Go drop every single person on it and go sign the bottom of the roster, every position group available. Tell me how many points your offense scores. It's not going to do anything. That's what we're dealing with in real life. We have nobody. Debo's out there. He's trying to do it. Debo's going to get paid highest bidder next year. He's gone. Probably
but
not
FP, there are teams with nobody that can still run an offense and can still score points.
Name me a team with nobody that's scoring points. Andy Reid, they're not scoring points.
Andy Reid and the Chiefs manage points. You're going
to tell me
they just got their pieces back. They just got their pieces back. And the Giants didn't have a single receiver for Jackson Dart to throw to, and they were moving the ball and scoring points.
What did everybody?
Do the Packers have a receiver? Andy, what about your team, the Green Bay Packers? They have a receiver of note? No.
Christian Watson came back.
He came back. My point is, for weeks and weeks and weeks, they're throwing to nobody. They're throwing to Jags.
Okay, so why does everybody else just sit patiently and wait for the team to get healthy? But we're the fan base that says, fire everybody, turn it over, and kick it to the curb. It makes no sense.
I don't know if Cliff gets a pass. I don't know if you could just give him a blanket pass.
Listen, the Chiefs are the franchise that everybody wants to mirror, right? From stadium experience, from the stupid Indian chat, to just dominating on the field, to even when they have offensive struggles, that fan base holds true. They know what Mahomes can do. They know what Andy Reid is capable of, and they believe, they trust, they're good. They have a solid coaching staff that can plug and play a lot of people to do great things. The start of that season, when all of their weapons were gone, nobody was saying, oh, Pat Mahomes isn't the guy. He doesn't have it anymore. That wasn't mentioned at all. They're saying he's out here rushing and running and doing everything himself because there's nobody out there, right? So we can't be the fan base that sees all of these good teams, right, weather the storm, and then all of a sudden they build on what they have because they keep key pieces in place.
Have you seen enough out of Cliff to say he's a lock to come back?
I have seen enough out of Cliff to say he does not deserve to be fired for calling an offense with nobody.
Andy, where are you on this, on Cliff in particular?
I think Cliff would be welcomed back by the coaching staff, by the fans, by everybody. But I don't think he's going to come back. I think he's going to take the first opportunity to take a head coaching job, either at college or, Giants or whatever.
It's possible.
I don't think he goes back to college. I think the Giants will come.
You want Jaden to have the same coordinator for a third
of course.
season.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So
but
we as a fan base need to be patient and hope that we retain all of the pieces.
Go back to the Chargers game.
Defensive side is different, right? Defensive, you can shuffle all you want.
But let's be open and honest with each other. Did you see anything out of them in week 1 when they were fully healthy that suggested that they were healthy? Well, Jaden was fully healthy.
Jaden was fully healthy.
They barely beat the Giants. Did you see something amazing out of them when they went into Green Bay? Not really. Did you see them?
They put up 20 points against a good defense.
Okay.
On a short week. They beat a healthy Giants team. All right. Russ sucked, but nobody knew Russ sucked in week 1, but they beat a healthy Giants defense.
I'm saying you look around the league and there's teams. Dan Campbell took over play calling and the Lions exploded in the first week anyway against us, against the terrible defense. They were humbled, I think.
We should have beat the Bears. We should have beat Miami.
Yeah.
There was a lot of close games we should have won.
Came out. Listen, everybody watched that trash Cowboys-Raiders game yesterday. Everybody's like, oh my God, the Cowboys offense is amazing because they put up 30 points against the Raiders. We dropped a 40 burger on the Raiders. The weapons when the Raiders also scored.
The Raiders also got a ton of points on us. I mean, if I recall, Trey Tucker had like 3 touchdowns.
I mean, that was not a close game at all, though. We dominated from beginning to end.
I agree. I hear you. Yes.
But all of the games, really up until that bad stretch, because Joe Witt couldn't do anything, all of the games.
I mean, Joe Witt's not back, right? Joe Witt's not back.
No, he should not be back at all.
He shouldn't be here now, but
the secondary coach shouldn't be back. The linebacker coach shouldn't be back. The D-line coach
your boy DQ wanted to talk to mid-season. He's requesting permission to talk to the defensive backs coach for the Cowboys, and of course the Cowboys blocked him.
That was last season. That was who we wanted before Joe Witt.
I'm just saying. Does it not remind you of Ron? I'd like to bring the entire Carolina Panthers staff here, including the drug dealing pharmacist, right? Like he wants everybody he knows. That's what scares me about a head coach like Dan Q. He's loyal to his guys, and they're loyal to him.
But every coach does that. Vrabel went out and got Josh McDaniels. Every coach
off his couch at home
that they know. It doesn't matter. Every coach goes out and gets the guys that they know. They run the plays that they know. They run the style that they know. Every coach does that. No coach is going out there and be like, hey, thank you for making me a head coach. I'm going to go hire complete strangers and hope I can build chemistry with them. No coach does that.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Joe Witt is an embarrassment. The defense is, I mean, they did look better, right? But, let's talk about the offense for a second here, and then we'll get off this terrible team. The offense was anemic. I mean, Debo was a bright spot, and he showed what he can still do, right? But he won't be back in a Commander's uniform next season, right? I mean, unless you guys disagree with me, he's got too much juice to be on this team. I think Zach Ertz. I think we're seeing the end of Zach Ertz's career as well, right? I very nice guy, accomplished tight end. He doesn't it's gone. It's over, right? I mean, I just think this is it for him too. I don't think he'll be back next year. The offensive line played better. The
offensive line, I don't think, is a problem. They could be giving up way more sacks. Don't forget what the offensive line looked like Ron's last year. The offensive line has significantly improved. Connerly, I think, gets the most hate, but he's a rookie. But he also has shown that he just needs to establish a stronger base, and that comes with offseason training, practice, strength and conditioning, and then all of a sudden he could turn into a dominant player. We just saw Sunday Night Football they were glazing the Eagles in my load up 1,000% of the night because he was a rugby player that came in that knew nothing and they were patient. And then year 1, he sucked. Year 2, he was a little bit better. Year 3, best player in the effing league lineman. Like, you just got to wait. You got to wait. This is a fan base. We are so bad at waiting because we have been conditioned to not wait under Dan Snyder because Dan Snyder never
But your
waited.
window opens and closes very quickly here. We're seeing it in Chicago. Chicago is in sole place in the NFC North, and they're the sole owner.
Fluff schedule, and they're us from last season.
Okay, fine.
Miracle.
I would love to be us from last season, FB. Right? I mean,
I already hit it once. I would rather be the Chiefs.
My point is,
or the Bills.
Would you rather be in our situation now, where you peaked in year 1 and you regressed sharply in year 2, or be in the Bears situation where you struggled in year 1 and you're peaking in year 2? I would rather be in the Bears situation.
You're peaking in year 2, but it's really year 1 for the Bears because it's all new pieces for them. So who knows what they look like?
You also can't say we regressed in year 2.
Yeah.
You can't say we regressed in year 2.
We have 3 wins, Andy. What are you talking about?
Matter. It's not the same team. There's nobody out there. You literally are throwing people off the couch.
And if everybody
was healthy and playing, half the people, let's just say half.
So basically, you're just saying it's a big blanket pass. Everybody just gets a pass. The whole team gets a pass.
It is. This whole season is kind of like that.
The coach doesn't get a pass. The coordinators don't get passes. The GM doesn't get a pass, right? But listen, look at the Bears, right? What did you just say earlier? You said there's game footage on Jaden now. Okay, that's Jaden in year 2 of the same offense. This is year 1 of Caleb and Ben Johnson's offense. Nobody knows what they're going to bring out. The new wrinkles that they introduced, nobody's seen them before, right? So let's see what happens year 2 of the Caleb and Ben Johnson duo. You don't know what's going to come out, right? There's so much stuff. It's the same thing with Drake May, right? They finally changed the coach. They finally bring in McDaniels. Let's see what happens with May, year 2 with McDaniels' offense when there's game footage on it. Let's see how he looks, right? Bo Nix has regressed from season 1 to season 2.
Yeah,
similar situation, same offense. They have
still getting wins. I mean, he doesn't seem to find
wins because they have a younger roster and they have a stout defense, and that's something that we haven't built.
Well, I also think,
and then we got injured on top of it.
I also think that the Broncos are doing a very good job making halftime adjustments. They're a different team in the second half. They seem to be able to wear you down, and then something halfway through the fourth quarter he becomes.
Yeah, smelling salts in his Gatorade or something during halftime. It wakes up Knicks. But the point is, you have the pieces. Like let's identify what we do have and where we can build. You have the quarterback. You have the O-line. Terry is old, but Terry, nobody can deny that he would be helping this offense.
He catches the ball.
Okay. Then you bring back Jalen Lane year 2. You bring back Luke year 3. You would hope that they have a little bit more. Your high draft pick.
I kind of like Trey Burks too. Huge.
You could probably keep Traylon Burks. Yeah, he's great. You have your high draft pick. If you have an insane, game-changing Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase type weapon available, get him. If that is not available, if it is not that obvious of a
super stud,
trade back your high first-round pick to a non-division QB needy team and bring in a haul and then trade those picks back and give me 7 to 10 third to 6th round picks. Just give me shit ton of picks.
And spend them all on defense.
And no, not spend them all. Just spend them on depth. Just depth across the board. And then when you have the depth, you have the young guys, you have that core you're building. All right, go spend your free agency money. Go get young guys. I think AP learned I'm gonna go get young guys. I think Dan Quinn learned I need to try out some young guys, and then you build. But that's what you need to do. You have to build, and then you're looking like the Chiefs, and then you're looking like the Seahawks, and then you're looking like the Patriots.
Oh, the Seahawks!
Like
I think
Seahawks
Darnold. I think he threw that game.
Listen, I mean,
Chauncey's in my head.
The Seahawks have always had a strong roster. They just couldn't fly with Geno, and then they bring in Darnold, who's slightly better.
Well, they brought in a defensive focused head coach who turned. They got Legion of Boom.
They had the
then.
weapons, and he drafted really strong defensive players.
And he's also changed the scheme a little bit to do a lot more press and push to the outside.
He is the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, so the Rams actually are doing something very similar too. You could say what you want about Forbes, but he's playing very well FP right now, right? The Rams are looking good. Before we get into
change of scenery is important.
Is there anything else you want to talk about the Spain experience? I mean, I honestly felt bad for the fans that spent money on tickets, airfare, accommodations and everything else to go all the way there and have two different opportunities to win the game. We can't kick field goals. We throw picks in overtime. And it's
listen,
over.
if you're going to spend money on an international game that's a dud, which a lot of the international games are duds, at least you're in Madrid. At least you're seeing like an iconic stadium that you get to check off your bucket list. At least you're experiencing like really awe-inspiring things. Yeah, the game sucked, but you can make a solid vacation out of it. So great.
I want to get your thoughts here. Was this the worst week of football we've seen in a long time? That was my general impression watching. Like my day was ruined by 11:30 or so. I guess with overtime, maybe closer to like 12:30. The 1 o'clock games were not great. The 4 o'clock games were not great. The primetime games were not great. Like start to finish, was this the worst weekend of football we've had all season?
I mean, even going back to the Thursday night game, the Patriots just curb stomping the Jets. I mean, yeah, it was a week. But, it's the meat of the season, right? You got the temperature changes. You got all the bye weeks. You got people weathering their own injury storms. It's the calm before the storm, because when that playoff push starts and you look at how the NFC and the AFC seedings go, it's making for very interesting TV.
I got a couple questions for you here. Andy, I'm going to go to you first. Are the Ravens for real?
No.
Really?
I mean, in their division, yes, but they're not a contender. No.
FP, do you agree with him?
I think so. I think people underrate the insanity of Myles Garrett and that Browns defense because it's the Browns. Myles Garrett had 10 sacks in 2 games. It makes no sense. So you put Lamar and that offense against a mid-tier defense, they run away with it like they did his first 3 games back.
So you're not buying that they are potentially...
No, they're back. They're legit.
Oh, so Andy's saying no. FB, you're saying yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I generally agree. I think they're for real, and they, I have a lot of faith in that coaching staff. And say what you want about Derrick Henry maybe missing a step or being a little bit slower. That offense is very efficient. Very efficient. I think they're for real too. Andy, I'm gonna give you another one. The Patriots, are they for real?
That's a hard one because I think they had a fluffy schedule, but I think Vrabel's a really good coach. Drake May's the real deal. They don't really have receivers, Diggs, whatever.
Diggs is looking pretty good.
I think they are a very solid football team this year, and I do think that they're only going to get better.
Yeah, I mean they were flirting with AJ Brown potentially to solidify that wide receiver room.
They're like us. They got a ton of money too.
They're
like us.
They are legit because the acquisitions they made in this offseason, primarily on defense, have worked out fantastic for them. And that defense is really, really, really strong. And it's a good young core, right? I do think they had a fluffy cupcake schedule. I do think if you get a little bit more game film on May with McDaniel's offense, it's not going to be as easy next season. But that's a team that you would want the Commanders to sort of replicate, right? The young guys that come together, that build up, and they're led under somebody like Vrabel. Dan Quinn has the recipe in front of him. He can make that happen. But
I would say generally, I think they're for real too. Like Drake May takes.
I think if they go against a stout defense, or if they go into a shootout with the Rams, which I don't think they would get into a shootout with the Rams, I think they go some against these top tier teams. I don't think they come out.
I mean, they've got a couple signature wins. It's I agree, it's a lot of fluff, but
their signature wins are also against teams that have really uncharacteristic losses.
I hear you. Ramondre being injured and Trayvon Henderson being the guy there. He's for real. Drake May doesn't have to throw the ball 40 yards downfield. They just pepper you. They run the most plays per game. Are you guys aware of this stat?
Yeah, but they're vanilla.
But it doesn't. But they have the ball. They control time of possession, and they just dink and dunk you to death. And then,
that only works against weak defenses.
Well, I mean, it's working. I mean,
it works against defenses that aren't good at generating turnovers. And Travion, listen, he's doing great, but he is averaging 1 to 2 yards per carry, and then rips off a 40. Right? I want a guy that's getting me 5 or 6 a carry, and you just churn and churn and churn and dominate.
All right, I got one more.
You can't bank on the home run ball, right? And that's what the Patriots are doing right now. And they're hitting, but you can't bank on it.
FP, what do you think about the Eagles?
They're legit. They're back. I mean, the moves they made to sound up that defense or shore up that defense, they're back. And the problem is they're winning without offensive efficiency. They're winning with
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts.
they're winning
sucking.
with
They're winning without
130
receivers.
yards of passing.
They're winning without Saquon Barkley doing anything. And you just know it's a matter of time. It'll click.
Yeah, Andy, are you on the same page? Do you agree? Are the Eagles for real?
Yeah, I mean, they had a little lull during the season where we all kind of wrote them off, but they kept winning. They kept winning, and they're kind of flying under the radar for some aspect. Like nobody really, at least on this show, nobody really gives them a chance.
Zero respect.
I don't think anybody in the league is as scared of them this
they've,
season. As
I don't
last
think
season.
Jalen scares anybody. I don't think
No.
any defense lines up and says Jalen. We're afraid that Jalen's just gonna take over the game and beat us. The tush
Because
push
Saquon's
is.
taking a step back, right? It's because
Saquon is regressed,
the
but
highlight reel.
But honestly, so is AJ Brown. I mean, like AJ Brown is averaging less than 40. I think he's at 48, just under 50 yards per game. I mean, this is his worst statistical season, and he's out there doing, the Terrell Owens diva bits right now in the media. Like this is going to end poorly for him in that locker room.
But
And
he also has a point because when Jalen has to scramble and goes into oh shit mode, and he goes F it Terry down there somewhere, just like we used to do, but with AJ Brown's making those catches or he's getting those calls, right?
but you
Like,
got to throw the ball around him, right?
Yeah, it's the chemistry that's off. It's not AJ Brown that's off. It's not Jalen just doesn't have the accuracy, but I think that's a problem where they're playing the wrong offensive coordinator for too long, right?
Yeah. I mean, yes. I got actually.
They're our version of Joe Witt. It's just anybody else that comes in with that offense, they put up 50 a game.
Listen, I there are times where I look at Sirianni and I'm like, how is this boob still keeping this locker room intact? Especially dropping 2 back to back. I mean, he's butt annoying. Dom is butt annoying. Like Jalen. I mean,
he's the guy that you should hate because he can't call anything. He can't call offenses.
He doesn't.
He can't call defenses. He doesn't know anything. He just knows how to be the rah guy, and that's terrible because eventually that's going to bite him in the ass.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I think it's fine. What, he's won 2 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowls. Like he's fine. No, write him off.
I think Howie has won 2 Super Bowls, and he's just
everything around the management of that team is off the charts excellent, and you can't argue with that. You can't. I mean, they are in a position where they could say goodbye to AJ Brown or suspend him and not skip a beat.
But you also like that. That's just more.
I mean, stupid Jahan is out there. Jahan Dotson is catching 5 balls a week.
But that's more reason why you got to be patient with AP and DQ, right? Because Howie, when he started as GM, a lot of people don't remember this. When he took over after Chip Kelly gutted that team and got rid of everyone, Howie was not hitting on his early picks
right.
or trades. He was not doing well until
but the Eagles had what, 1 down season, 2 down seasons, and they were right back at it.
And that was the start of Howie's time, right? And then he started.
It was Wentz and then Jalen.
He started building from the core,
yeah.
And then now his moves are making more and more sense. So you got to give AP time.
Well, he acquires depth. He very rarely acquires stars. He's acquiring depth. I mean, right. Barkley is I guess AJ Brown would be an exception to that too.
Yeah, but I mean, he built the core so that he can go out and acquire depth. Or go out and acquire stars.
We talked about the Bears a little bit here, so I'm not going to ask if you guys are buying. I think you're both selling on them. Last team, and then we'll do top 5, low 5. Where are you falling on the 49ers, Andy? Is this team for real? They're 7-4. They get, Brock Purdy's back under center. Kittle is back on the field. McCaffrey looks like he doesn't age. Where are you on the 49ers right now?
I think they're for real. They're similar to the Eagles to me in the sense that they keep finding ways to win. They have a very solidly run organization, same like the Eagles. Coaching staff is great. They know what to do with the players that they have. They scheme for the lack of players, and then they scheme for the players' skills that they have. Like you throw in Mac Jones, you throw in Purdy, like they're still putting up points. The defense is injured. They're still stopping people. Like their coaching staff is very intelligent. They know what to do, and they put people in the right places. I'm high on them. And now that Purdy's back, I mean, everybody likes to go on Purdy because, he's 7th rounder, right? Like he came into the league You know,
They
caught
they
everybody
look
off guard, right? Like
they looked great on
better
Sunday.
with Birdie. They looked much better with Purdy than they did with Mac Jones. So I mean, clearly he's a difference maker, and clearly he's
And I think that
the captain of
sentence
that team.
that sentence is why I'm buying them too. Mac Jones was leading that offense, and they were still getting points. Like that's how good of a coach Shanahan actually is. FP, are you buying the 49ers?
I'm buying, but I'm gonna say something that probably neither of you agree with. Is I think if our injuries this season were a little bit more under control, kind of how San Francisco is. They got depleted, but they were getting players back a little bit faster than us. And the coaching staff, obviously, hands down 100% better. But I think we could have mirrored what the Niners looked like if we had, like Andy was saying, 50% of the injuries. We could have mirrored that. If Jaden stayed healthy and you had majority of the pieces stay healthy, you could have been one of those teams that finds a way to win the occasional 40 burger, not necessarily middle of the pack, but, right under, the leader of your division and somebody that nobody wants to face going into the wild card weekend. But
yeah, like if our injuries were staggered,
yes,
that'd be great. Like Cleveland Farrell goes out and then Armstrong gets hurt, but Cleveland Farrell comes back a game later. Like, if they were staggered, but unfortunately,
the problem is we offered
season.
Yeah, we suffered in like season-ending injuries. They suffered onesie-twosie injuries, and some of them piled up. But for the most part, they weathered the storm. But again, I would like to think that AP, from his time under Lynch, knows what the recipe is, and it was just the season just went to shit on him, and it went to shit fast.
Yeah,
and that's what you just got to deal with it.
I mean, there's a couple other teams we could talk about. I'd rather just go into top 5, low 5, to be honest. But the Packers, last one. Andy, I know you've been up and down on the Packers. I think we've all been up and down on the Packers. I mean, are they contending for? I mean, it's very hard to make sense of the NFC general playoff picture. I don't think the Packers belong in the playoffs based on what I'm seeing right now.
I mean, you literally described them. They are up and down. You don't know what you're going to get with them. 1 week you can get, 10 points and a crappy defense who's just taking the day off. And then the next week you get Jordan Love, who's airing it out, can't miss. Everybody's firing on all cylinders. Micah Parsons is sacked. Like, you just don't know what you're going to get with them. And that's not really the recipe for a contender, in my opinion. They're going to make the playoffs, but they're probably going to lose the first week of the playoffs.
I mean, Detroit is in a very similar spot, right? Like, what the hell's going on with Detroit?
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
that's fair.
You've got the NFC West that potentially can put 3 teams in. You've got the NFC North that can put 3 teams in. The NFC East probably is only going to be sending
NFC South might even 2. And that's a big storyline, is that Panthers team.
The Panthers, man.
That Panthers team is that might be a team. I mean, it depends on what version of Bryce Young you get, but if he's getting a little bit more confidence.
I mean, he threw for 500 yards.
Yeah, I'm saying if he gets his confidence and you start coaching correctly, that defense is sound. I mean, that's a prime wild card disruptor right there.
I agree with you. What do you think happens with Kirk the rest of the way in Atlanta under center? Is this the end of Kirk?
Listen, I want to see him. I want to see him succeed, and I want to see him put on good film so that somebody else takes a shot at him. Maybe the Raiders, maybe the Saints, somebody, maybe the Jets, anything. But yeah,
I think he's there mentally. He's there mentally. I think he knows, but he can't make the throws anymore. Physically, he's done.
Yeah, it feels like we're watching the end of Kirk. I mean, he looked.
But it could be something where, like when Flacco went to the Colts, they looked good. Or when Wentz went to the Colts, he even looked pretty good. If he's surrounded with something where he doesn't have to,
it's like late stage Manning with the Broncos. He's
Manning was still elite when he went to the Broncos. He wasn't mobile, but he was still elite. But Kirk needs to just, for the first time in his career, not chase money, chase environment.
But who's going to give him another opportunity at this point, FP? I mean, you look around the league, like where is he going to go? Who's he going to back up? Like, you can't have him back. He's going to play behind 45-year-old Aaron Rodgers. No way.
No, I mean, I could see the Jets making the similar move. If they say, hey, we're going to bring you in, but we're also going to draft a QB, I can see that happening. I can see the Browns be like, "Hey, we're going to bring you in." But
Hey, the Browns got
Shador's
their
gonna be
guy.
the
Shador, he's
that is the opposite of environment.
I can see the Cardinals dumping Kyler Murray. He goes to baseball. And they just bring in.
Kyler might not
Kirk.
be playing football next year.
Kyler is going to Miami. He's going to replace Tua.
He should go to the A's and play baseball.
He should stop playing football. I agree with that. Jacoby Brissett, he completed 47 passes. 47 NFL record 47 completed passes on Sunday. Like just one of those. That's nuts, man. That's nuts. And obviously without their top wideout. Let's go top 5, low 5 here. I'm gonna go first. Let's just go from let's go best team. I got the Rams at 1. Is anybody gonna argue with me on this? They are a complete team. They are well coached. Their quarterback makes no mistakes. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. Devontae Adams had his 1,000th career reception. They do everything efficiently. They are legit. They are scary. They can beat anybody. And frankly, their 2 losses, they were toss-up games. Like they were competitive.
I'm not going to argue with you, but it's fine that you put them at 1. They're not my number 1. They're my number 2. So I'm not going to argue.
Who you got?
Take what you want. Colts, even though they had a bye week, they're still a powerhouse.
Soft schedule though. No, we made that argument a couple times now. This on this episode that they're playing nobodies. They're beating up on Jags.
Jags are not nobody.
I'm saying no Jags like just
a guy.
Average teams, yeah,
Oh,
average teams.
Yeah. I don't know their schedule. I haven't studied it. I can't really make a point if I.
They competed with the Rams.
They came close with the Rams, right?
Yeah.
Like you said it yourself. One dumb play away from beating them. Like they're blowing teams out. Even if they do have a soft schedule, it's not like
JT's
1 or
MVP.
2 point games. They're beating teams by 2+ touchdowns.
And they have some real stars on defense.
Yes, they do. And they're well coached and nobody.
Am I muted or do you guys just like to talk over me?
We're conversing with you.
Can someone riddle me something? Like, am I on mute or do you guys like to just talk over me?
We're conversing
just
with
keep
you.
Sucking your lollipop over there.
You guys are conversing together over me.
Listen, porn stash. Okay.
Yeah, I know it came in thick.
I know it's November, but come on.
Number 2, Joe.
Number 2.
You're going your top 5.
No, I want to hear FP. Are you with me on the Rams?
Oh yeah, Rams are 1. Rams are 1.
Oh, okay.
All right, Dalla, you've got the Rams at 2. FP, who you got at 2?
I'm probably going.
You said you're doing your list.
Okay. I'm changing the order. Just relax.
Listen, he changed his name to Agent of Chaos for a reason.
FP, who you got at number 2?
I'm going Colts number 2.
I am also. I think they deserve to be in that spot. They are a complete team, and as long as DJ doesn't regress, if he just keeps it medium, they're gonna coast the rest of the way. I mean, they got a soft schedule, they got a soft division. They're gonna be fine. Okay, 3. This might surprise you guys. I'm going with the Patriots. The 9-2 Patriots. I just like my eyeballs tell me they are a good team. I don't have it's just a tingle. I think they are a good team. I think Drake May right now is head and shoulders better than everyone else in last year's draft class as far as consistent QB play. I don't see him making mistakes. They run the ball very well. Diggs and what's his name? Booty. They get open in the middle of the field. That team is very efficient. They play sound defense. They're well coached. And they definitely have a home field advantage. We'll see as the weather starts to turn, if that impacts. They're built for winter. They're built to win. I like what I see. My eyeballs like what I'm processing here with the Patriots. Do you disagree with me that they belong in the 3 spot?
Yes. It's Eagles.
I also disagree.
All right. So FP, you've got the Eagles. Okay. All right. Andy, who you got?
You don't even have to say anything. It's the Eagles.
I'm not going to argue with it. I mean, but
I don't have the Pats in my top 5. They're right on the outside, though.
What?
Yeah, I don't have the Pats in my top 5. I have the Eagles at number 3, like FP.
Okay. All right. Who you got at 4?
Seahawks.
After what just happened on Sunday? After Darnold threw the game?
Especially after what happened last year. After 4 interceptions and playing like complete ass for them to still have the chance to win the game, but they just missed the kick. Absolutely, I have them in my top 5 still.
That is I don't know if I can buy that one. FP, are you okay with this or are you disagreeing? No, that's not good. That's not good.
I can't give it to them. I think I want to say Bills.
No, I can't do that either.
I think they're going to
Way
turn
too
the
erratic.
corner.
Way
I
too
think they're going to
erratic.
turn the corner. That is a team built for winter.
Are we watching the same league? I mean, I don't know what to do with this. Like the Bills have lost to the Dolphins and to the Patriots. Like they're on the outside right now looking in. They can't be the fourth best team in the league. It's not possible. That's like saying the Chiefs at 5-5 belong in the top 6 or 7. No,
look at the Bills, right? They came out and they beat a really good Bucs team.
Okay, but the Bucs, I love the Bucs, and the Bucs were in control on Sunday, and they ended up losing. So, like, I can't put them there either.
That's a good mark on the Bills.
It is. Okay. I mean, okay. I'm surprised. I'm a little surprised with both of those. Andy, I'm scared to go to you for your fifth team here, but let's hear it.
Did you tell us who number 4 was for you?
Oh, sorry. For me, it's the Broncos. The Broncos. They are fraudulent in a sense that they only seem to play 1.5 quarters a week. You got juicy fruit on the sideline running into the refs. I mean, you got some problems there that they got to clean up.
Wasn't there a stat that said like Bo Nix hasn't completed a pass 10 yards or like accurately or something like that?
He's not the most accurate, but that team is built really well. Even with JK going down, they've got good receivers. They've got a good tight end. They've got a really, really good defense. They did a number on the Kansas City Chiefs. And frankly, they're sitting at 9-2, and I fully expect them to come in to DC the Sunday after the Super Bowl and win that game as well. Like we're going to see them here after the bye week, right? So like I think they're going to be a 10 or 11 win team here before they see another loss. Personally, I think that's where they're trending. But
their schedule's kind of fluffy too.
Yeah, I'm soft. It's a soft 4, but that's
they built a good cushion in the conference though. So
they did, and you can't take that
division.
away from them. Yeah, and then for me, this is a reach here, but for 5, I'm going to go first here. I'm going to go with the Lions. I can't. It's my eyeballs again. They're 6-4. They have shown extreme dominance at times, and they have shown extreme lack of discipline at other times. They are a very strange team, and it's interesting to see how they respond. Like they come out against the Skins, and Dan's calling the offense, and they basically hang 100 points on the Skins. Then they play on Sunday night against the Eagles, and they can't do anything.
Jared Goff looked scared.
Looked terrible. Like it was a little bit cold and windy, and the whole thing fell apart. So I'm not. Again, It's a soft push here for the Lions. They can run the ball. They could win a game legitimately with Jared Goff throwing the ball 5 times, and just running the ball with their 2 studs.
I mean, they could just copy the Eagles.
The stupid Patriots did that a couple years ago. I think it was in Belichick's last year, if you remember, with Mac Jones. They threw the ball 0 times. Like we're just going to run the ball, and this is what we're going to do. So I don't know if you guys disagree with me, but like I was torn between maybe the Seahawks because they're at 7-3. I like the Lions. I like the 49ers. Everybody else is kind of just stuck. That's where
I don't have the Lions. I don't even have the Lions at 6.
Who you got at 5?
Number 5 it's like a 5A, 5B for me. It's a toss up.
Squeeze them in there.
It's the Bucs or the Bills.
Yeah, the Bucs are interesting too. The Bucs are interesting.
Even though they lost to the Bills, I mean, it was haymaker after haymaker. Josh Allen had insane game, right? Like you just make him normal, human, and the Bucs win that game, right? But Josh Allen just took over. I lean probably more Bucs at number 5 than Bills, but I don't want to play either one of those teams. I think they're trending in the right direction.
Well, the Bucs finally did what people, I think, fantasy aside, right? Everybody, I think from a fantasy perspective, Bucky Irving is down. You're expecting Rachaad White to get the bulk of the carries. Sean Tucker is the best running back on that roster. And he was given an opportunity to do what he does, which is not necessarily run the ball. He's actually an elite pass catching running back out of the backfield. He took it to the house twice. I mean, he is so good in open space, and they can get points very easily. it wasn't Baker's best work though, right? I mean, and I think like he needs better pieces around him, and right now he doesn't have his full complement of pieces, and that's why I think they're waffling a bit. But FP, where are you on 5?
The 5 seed is this is like the hardest 5 seed we've ever had like in an NFL season, because you really almost have even split like 5 through 9, right? I probably give it to the Patriots because I think they are more sound and healthier than a lot of these other teams. But the Lions, the Bucks, the Seahawks, the Broncos, they're all kind of interchangeable in that 5 seed. And it really leads to which team gets the hottest right before playoffs. I think the Patriots are most likely to get hot before the playoffs.
They're hot now.
I mean, like
stay
truly,
hot.
truly hot.
Okay.
Like against better teams, like in the wild card. But I mean, look, it's honestly a toss up with all of those teams. You might want to give the edge to the Lions if they figure it out. I mean, that Eagles defense is really good, so that's probably more fluke than anything. But
you're right, Andy. Who's your 5A?
Bucks.
The Bucks.
Bills, Bucks. Yeah.
There's a couple teams that I think, and I agree with both of you. There's a whole bunch of just clustered in that 5, 6, 7 spot. I think the Chargers belong somewhere in there, even though, again, very hot. When they look, there are times they look great, and there are times they look like the worst team in the league.
You could probably sneak the Jags in there.
The Chiefs, the Ravens. I mean, the Jags at 6 and 4. I mean, again, when they're up, they're way up. When they're down, they're way down. The Bears deserve a nod here too. At 7 and 3, like they are. I understand they're winning dramatically, and it's very last second buzzer beater style. But 7 and 3 is still 7 and 3. They're being disrespected, I think, by the league at large, because most power rankings have them in the 15 range with a 7 and 3 record. And the 49ers. I mean, that's the other one. Like I don't know how to read the 49ers. They have 4 losses. 2 of them were winnable games. 2 of them were not so winnable, but they look like a totally different team with Purdy under center. So,
and they're probably going to keep getting healthy, get a few more weapons.
Well, yeah, but Kittle was unguardable on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Kittle was everywhere. He was healthy.
I mean, and honestly, I think we're skating over the Chiefs and the Ravens just because they are the Chiefs and the Ravens.
5 and 5. Like they're
that's a team. If there's ever a team that can light a match and just sprint to the Super Bowl, it's the Chiefs.
Yeah, and they have a full complement of pieces. They have their running back, they got their receivers, they've got an excellent coach. They can
do better with running back. Losing Pacheco hurts, but
sure. But the Chiefs play better defense than the Ravens, even though the Ravens are improved over the last 4 games. But I'm not trying to tackle Derrick Henry. If he's got to keep 2 hands on the ball,
especially in the cold.
Yes, absolutely. Let's pivot here.
Fumble it.
Well, he has been fumbling it, but. Bottom of the league.
I would love to tackle Derrick Henry, especially in the winter.
Yeah. You think you can bring him down?
You
think you can bring him down? We had this conversation
I know one guy who could.
Me.
Peter.
Me.
There's no chance. There's no chance. Oh, this is.
I know Peter could tackle Derrick Henry.
I could bring him down.
Let's talk about the crap teams here. Titans are clearly the worst at 1 and 9. Anyone going to disagree?
No.
I got the Raiders at 2 and 8, just above them as pathetic. Also, I got the Jets, who don't have legit don't have a quarterback for Sunday.
Sounds good. Yeah,
they're there too. The Browns and Shador just above them. I my brain tells me to feel bad.
Defense, though.
Yeah, my brain tells me to feel bad for Garrett Miles, but then my heart says no. Like he made a business decision. Sorry, I got that backwards. He made a business decision to stay there. This is what you get. You're gonna get paid. And you're gonna excel as an individual contributor. Like he's making a case for MVP on a 2 and 8 team. That's nuts. But
I'd rather put the Saints there, but sure, I'll let you ride with the Browns.
Yeah, I mean the Saints. I mean, fine, whatever. I mean the Giants looked horrendous. Also, like they got some points, I suppose, but they are.
I think Giants are out of the bottom 5. It's Saints and Browns to round out the top 5. The bottom.
I think Saints have to go under the Browns because you have to factor in they're effed in the offseason. They have 0 cap space. They have nothing. They're going to be stuck like this for a long time.
They have nothing.
They're done.
So here's the question though, right? I mean, leave the Falcons. The Falcons are somewhere in that mid-20s range too. But where do you put the Commanders at 3 and 8 now? 3 and 8 guys. Like where They 25, 26, 22, 23. Like they can't be any higher than that.
I might give him 24.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to think who's behind him.
it'd be Cardinals. I mean, so I'm looking at the latest list here on just on the list here. The Vikings have fallen to 20 at 4-6. You got the Dallas Cowboys at 4-5-1 at 21. Both of these teams at one point were flirting with bubble top 5 based on eyeball test. At least the Vikings were. You got the Dolphins at 22 at 4-7. The Bengals at 23, 3-7, and Flacco looked his age on Sunday. The Cardinals, 3-7, 24. This poll's got the Commanders at 25 at 3-8, then the Falcons at 26, and then the rest of the crap. I think that's where they belong.
It depends on what you see after the bye week, right? If you get pieces back,
Well, you're going to see a loss because they're going to go against the buzzsaw that is the Broncos defense.
If you get pieces back and you look semi-competitive against the Broncos, I think you can edge out the Cardinals. I think you can edge out what was the other team? I think you can edge out the Bengals, but the Bengals are the same thing. If Burrow comes back, right, then they can climb, right? So it depends on what team comes
25.
out. If the Commanders are coming out with the same arsenal of weapons after the bye week, they're 25, maybe 24. Maybe they can edge out the Cardinals. Maybe
we've got Broncos after the bye at home. I think that's a loss. We've got the Vikings on the road after that. Toss up, best case, maybe.
It's a loss. Let's be honest with ourselves. That's a loss.
It's a loss. You got
that at Minnesota?
At Minnesota.
That's a loss.
December 14th, we are at the New York Giants. Toss up. Maybe win 4. Then you've got Eagles to close the season.
Loss.
Yeah. We're looking at a 4-5 win. Like if they can get to 6 wins at this point.
No, but like let's be honest. Come on now, guys. I know we want to win games, but
no, I don't want to win games. I don't want to win games, but I don't want
to
lose.
I never want to see a team tank, and I'm going to live in the silver lining in La La Land. Let me live in La La Land for a second and pose a situation to you. Let's say by some miracle, game of inches, you beat the Broncos.
Okay.
Let's just say it happens. It won't.
Without Jaden. No Jaden. No Terry, no Jaden.
Let's just say somehow, some way, the best prep week ever. DQ has everything.
Broncos are fat on turkey and they just don't get it done.
Are you saying win out? You're pretty much suggesting.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying win out. I'm saying
run the tables.
Let's say you beat the Broncos. Okay.
Beat the Broncos. Yeah.
That's a huge momentum swing.
You can beat the Vikings.
You can beat the Vikings. All right.
You should beat the Giants.
That puts us at how many wins right there?
Be 4 or 5.
Okay.
Be 4-8, 5-8.
We'd be 5 wins right there.
You'd be 5-8 going into New York.
Then you have three division games.
4.
No, you beat the Giants.
You say you're gonna beat the Giants.
Let's hypothetically, you beat the Broncos, you beat the Vikings, you beat the Giants.
So you'd
how
be,
many wins?
You'd be 4, 5, 6. We're at
6 and 8
wins
with Eagles and Cowboys. Now look, if you win those last 4 games, you're making the playoffs even with a losing record.
Yeah,
because of the division record. But what are we talking about here?
Because I'm saying it's division wins, right?
They can lose, yeah, but in the end, they can afford to lose. Like the Dolphins game sucks, but it doesn't hurt.
Right.
The Broncos game sucks, but it doesn't hurt. If they
Chiefs
run,
game hurt,
if you beat the Vikings, if you stack wins against NFC opponents, which they have for the final 5 games of the season.
I'm just saying.
Hey, let me get some of whatever you're drinking.
I'm just saying. Live in the positive just for a second. It all comes down to if some miracle happens, and we've seen miracles happen. We've seen the Dolphins beat the Bills. We've seen bad beat good. If you upset the Broncos, prime trap game, and you win, you take that momentum, you beat the Vikings. You take that momentum of a 2-game win streak, you beat the Giants. You take that momentum, and you keep going. Listen, but listen, it gets to a point where that Cowboys game becomes the most important game. Let's say you lose the first one to the Eagles, fine. That Cowboys game becomes really important with a defense that lets you score, and the Eagles most likely are resting everybody that last week.
When are you getting Jaden back in this mumbo jumbo?
Let's say you get him for the Vikings game. Let's say you get him for the Giants game.
I mean,
I'm just saying, one of those Eagles games could be very easily won because they're probably resting all their starters because they locked.
But you would need, but you would need both if you're talking playoffs and like magical run.
No,
And
I'm saying you can sneak into the wild card if you beat the Eagles once.
No, they can't. Hold on.
The Cowboys and Giants.
They can't get into a wild card because there's too many good teams elsewhere in the NFC. They would have to win the division.
Look at the wild card right now. Look at the wild card predictions right now. Tell me who the on the hunt teams are and the 6 and 7 seed are.
NFC playoff picture.
Who should we draft with our number 7 or higher pick?
Trade back and get a myriad of picks.
What if like this dude everybody's talking about, Averill Reese or something from Ohio State's available?
Right now, your AFC picture would be Broncos, Patriots, Colts, Steelers, Bills, Chargers, Jags. That's your set. Those are your 7 teams.
And in the hunt,
Houston,
Chiefs, Ravens,
Houston, Chiefs, Ravens, and then believe it or not, the Dolphins at 4 and 7. But just Houston, Kansas City, and Baltimore, 8, 9, 10, right there.
Okay.
NFC picture: Eagles, Rams, Bears, Bucks, Seahawks, Packers, 49ers. Bubble teams: the Lions outside looking in, Panthers at 6 and 5 outside looking in. Then you've got Cowboys, Vikings, Cardinals, Falcons all clustered, and then Commanders, Saints, Giants.
Okay, so look at this realistically. All those teams ahead of us in the hunt, outside of the Lions and who? Who's the start of in the hunt?
Panthers.
Lions, Panthers, Cowboys.
Okay. Do you not think that the Panthers can completely implode and have some heartbreaking losses? Yes.
They can, but you're 3 games behind them, FP.
They can easily lose 3 games in a row. It's the Panthers.
I understand.
And then you look at the Cowboys. They could easily lose games.
Are we just trying to meet a minute mark right now? Like, what are we doing?
I'm not sure.
I'm just saying, look, I like to live in the positive. And all I'm saying is
what? Okay, how many wins for this team at the end of the season, FP?
I'm just saying what's the point? What's the point of being a fan if you're not going to have these conversations and find something?
Being miserable. That's what we do here.
I don't want being miserable and demanding that the team.
I took a futures bet on the Wizards winning. I thought the Wizards were going to win 22 and a half games. It's going to take them 3 seasons.
I'm already excited for next year's draft.
All right. Listen, I'm talking to a bunch of Grinches. Merry Christmas. Bah humbug. Let's go.
Key lime pie is king.
Key lime pie is way
next week. Next week we're doing a pie power rankings.
From the fall pie category, pecan is the best.
Can we do it while we eat pie?
Is it pecan or pecan? Are you fancy? Is it caramel
pecans
or caramel?
When it's the nut, it's pecan when it's the pie.
Is this a fact or is this an FP? You said it's
is
so
it Kamado
authoritative.
or Komodo, guys?
Komodo.
It's a Komodo.
It's Komodo.
It's a Komodo.
Anything to plug, FP?
Caps looked good yesterday. They still suck. You got to stop putting Ovi on the power play and shootouts. That's about it.
Thank you. Andy, anything to plug?
How does a blind man know when to stop wiping?
Is there an answer?
Forfeit the toilet paper and rub your fingers together.
How does a blind man know when to stop wiping?
What's the answer?
I don't know.
Do
they smell?
Are they Middle Eastern? Because it's bidet all day.
Smell test?
God. Thank you for that. Thank you. I got nothing. The show is DTC Defeating the Curse. Thank you for hanging out with us. Episode 359 in the books. We will be back next week, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. One more show before we get into the meat of the holiday conduit. You can find the show anywhere you get your podcast. Defeating the Curse. DTC at Defeating the Curse on all social medias. Thank you for hanging out with us. Till next week, we are out.